Hi everybody, it's Gareth Thomas here, the author of Iron Power Palm, and I've decided to put a little video together to show you what's inside the book. Um, I know people will come to a website, but if you're buying a book, you want to be like you're in the bookstore and have a look through the book, so I'm going to give you a look through. There are 285 pages in the book Iron Power Palm and over 200 illustrations. Part of the book is a direct translation of the book Iron Palm by Master Yuan Kai, which was written in the 1930s. And that book's a compilation of various articles he had in Chinese martial arts magazines. So the book's dedicated to Master Yuan Kai, although two-thirds of the book are different material. And I'll just zoom through here to show you there's a lot of information in the book. As I say, it's 285 pages, and you can see from the contents there that you're probably going to have to read it 2 or 3 times to really get everything out of it. Now, in the introduction, I've got some info from the book Iron Palm in 100 Days, just as an introduction to Iron Palm training. And that only accounts probably for about, I think there's 20 or 30 pages or so. Okay, so I'll just zoom through this. As you know, Iron Palm 100 Days shows you to use the 5 different striking surfaces with your hand. And just keep zooming through. Okay, there's a little information here on the internal methods of training and the 8 pieces of the brocade, the exercises that are relevant to Iron Palm training. But this book is really about external training. So I don't really go into internal training. I give you some sources of information that you can look up and buy other courses to follow the internal training. So really, this is just an introduction to let you know that you can do the internal training as well. I've got a section on ancient Chinese Kung Fu methods and exercises that are relevant to Iron Palm training and part of old style Chinese Iron Palm. And I'll just briefly go over these because there are a number of sources on the internet, particularly in Chinese language, showing various Shaolin and other exercises that you can do. Here we've got bamboo leaf hand, which actually makes up quite a large part of Yuan Kai's Iron Palm training methods. And got a whole lot of things. Multiple bag training for practicing fighting multiple opponents. Iron arm. I'll just zoom through it. When you buy the book, you can check it all out. And of course, there are old Chinese methods of bodybuilding and weight training, which I cover. And there's a little info on using biofeedback and stuff to control the energy in your body. And here we get to section 1. So, everything that I've covered already, that's just the introduction to the book. Section 1 by Yuan Kai, which is, I actually had 2 people translate his book, one in China and another one a university student in New Zealand, and they didn't have any communication with one another, and the 2 translations were very, very similar, so I'm quite confident that I've got a good, accurate translation of the book. Okay, so all of this material basically is a direct translation of Yuan Kai's book. And he covers a lot of theory on Iron Palm training and on Gong in general. And then he gets into specific exercises and equipment. He covers everything like herbs, internal, external medicine, training of the forearms and the hands. Okay, so, here's a recipe here for liniment. Tells you how to make internal hit pills. And I've actually got a lot of recipes in here. General stuff on Gong. Now, the iron palm section, he divides it into two sections. One is iron palm jabbing, which is things like stabbing into the bucket of shot, and there's also throwing and grabbing your heavy steel shot bag, which of course strengthens your hands and fingers. Finger thrusting into the hanging bag, which is performed after a couple of months training on the jabbing and grabbing on the bag. Okay, various stances, and then the other section is on the slapping training. And we've already covered that you use 5 different hand methods, but there's all the stances you can use and different methods that you can use. Okay, it's all covered in the book. Palm training 70%, fist training is 30%. Okay, so you're still going to do some training on your knuckles, but not a lot because you don't want to get arthritis or calluses on your knuckles. Okay, so there's also elbow training, training on the forearms and elbows, training with the arm roller. It's pretty extensive. And 5 finger and 6 elbows. The finger are the striking points on the body, so it's conditioning various parts of the body for striking, which you can use to escape from various holds and attack situations. And there's a small list of other books by YUAN. Some of those can be purchased online by another publisher. Then I've got an extensive FAQ section on iron palm, and basically I've gone over many different forums and websites on the net, and I've found all the questions that people are asking most commonly, and I've answered them all just as if you were sitting down with a Sifu or a trainer and they were answering all your personal questions. So you can spend a lot of time going through those. There's everything, equipment, training, how to make gel, where to buy gel, where to buy everything you need or make it, and just general questions on the training itself. Okay. There's a lot of information in there. A lot of recipes for making your own herbal medicine. I'll rip through all of that. And then the third section, 2/3 of the way through the book, is hand and forearm strength for martial artists. And there's a great deal of information here. And everything that's not here, you're told where to find it or get it. The types of hand strength, anatomy of the hand, various types of equipment that you can use in your grip training. Okay, it's very extensive information, and I actually have almost all of this equipment myself at home, which I use all the time. I've been working out for must be about 26 years now. So okay, and I also go through various exercises that you can do with dumbbells and barbells, specifically for grip, hand and forearm training. And there's a big list of additional training, plus I refer you to some other books that you can buy specifically on hand and grip training. There's a brief section on massage. Massage is of course very, very important in iron palm training. And I just give you an introduction to Chinese massage, so that you know what to do. And a little bit on injuries. Carpal tunnel and tennis elbow are quite common injuries for people doing this kind of training. Got a section on sample routines, and getting close to the end of the book now. There's a big section on resources with all the websites you can go to and get all the information and equipment. And finally, there's the afterword, where I advise you to use your new skill of modesty and discretion for self-defense only. Okay, so it is a very good book on iron palm training, and there's only one other book that I know of that I think is as good as mine, and that's The Ultimate Iron Palm by Sifu Lam. which is also a very good iron palm book. And I hope you buy the book. Thanks.